So you see we got our first preliminary wash done on this razor after our ride in Nachise. And we'll go ahead and get finally detailed up here with some SC1 and get the mud off it, ready for our next ride. But I'll post a video here. You guys just kind of see how dusty it was. There was a lot of silt, there was a lot of mud, and there was a lot of clay. So we'll definitely a test for the S&B Particle Separator. There's just a follow-up to that. For the amount of silt that we ran, we followed a lot of riders down very dusty roads and big hills with lots of silt. So we're going to go ahead and open up the air filter cover here on camera, and we're going to see what our air filter looks like. Should be, if I was running OEM configuration, probably a pound of dust would come out of it after that ride. But we're going to go ahead and take the seats out, pop the back off, take the cover out, and then we'll see what it looks like. Hang on, stay tuned. We're going to go ahead and pop these seats out real quick. And I have not taken the cover off yet, so this will be a first look for both of us, or all of us. So this is going to be all dirty behind here because I didn't rinse any of this. I am running the S&B filter as well inside the airbox. So that filter is a little bit bigger and it's white. So we'll definitely be able to tell how much dust is on the filter. So just kind of all right, let's check it out. It does look like a little bit of dust is in there. Like I said, it was silt, so it did get through, as you can see. Yep, so we'll make sure we go back ahead and recheck our seals and fittings on it, just to make sure that we're 100% airtight. It does look like this seal is okay, as we can see from the dark black line all the way around. There's no brown really crossing the line at all, so that seal appears to be okay. I have to say, actually, for the amount of nastiness that we were doing, this filter and the S&B Particle Separator actually did a pretty damn good job. Inside of the filter is still brand new and spotless. As you can see here, I always put a little grease around the outside of the tube to make sure it's sealed. Filter is brand new on the inside. So the filter is definitely, as you see on the inside here, the filter is brand new still on the inside, no dust. And let's go around and look at the tube on the filter. You can see here, completely clean of dust. Yep, clean of dust. No dust got through the filter. It's primarily some got into the box. We'll check our tubes here. Like I said, making sure these tubes are properly seated. Making sure there's no gaps in the tubing. All right, here's the filter taken out, and we want to go ahead and you see it's just fine dust that's in there, and nothing really would come out of it when we did their recommendations of tapping it out. No dirt fell out of it. So primarily it's just very fine particle dust. I'm going to go ahead and pull off some of the S&B items here. We're going to start just the items such as the tubes. We're going to start and work our way this way. I'm primarily not concerned with the results that we have here. The amount of dust that we were riding through was on a level of 1 to 10 was probably like an 8. There's no dirt on the other side of the air filter, so I'm not concerned about that at all with the engine. I just want to make sure that we have everything sealed up accordingly how it's supposed to be. So we're going to just one section at a time remove the components until we come to, obviously if everything's dirty, the filter was doing its job and spitting the majority of everything out into the wheel well where it needed to be, and just the fine particles we're getting through. All right, we have an update to the S&B Particle Separator. We've been working with S&B, and they went ahead and sent us a new primary box up top. I guess some of the boxes were molded, under-molded, or the molding was curved, or so they suspected the little bit of dust was getting passed in here, past the seal. I suspected it was coming through at the bottom as well. Just based on the amount of dust that I saw collecting in one particular area here. So they did send us a new primary box up top. I was able to actually use a gauge, 0.10 gauge, and slide it in between here. Per the instructions they sent me, taking a 0.10 gauge, I was able to actually slip it in between the gasket seal and the housing here, and they said that they had a new preliminary design that they were working on, and they would go ahead and send me one of the finished ones that they had. They aren't in mass production yet, but this is what they sent me. You see, this is a new piece completely. There is a rubber seal, a gasket along the edge here. It has a channel in the middle here, so we're going to see exactly how that sits on to the new piece here, if it simply just goes in between, or we'll see how the brackets still line up. We're in the process of taking the motor piece off again with the scavenge fan, so we're going to go ahead and get that off here, and then we're going to go and see how the new piece fits in. It's supposed to give it a tighter, better seal. All right, here's the update with the two pieces that S&B sent us. One being the new rubber seal gasket. As you can see, it's a much better design. Fits over the actual airbox very well. Nice and tight. No gaps. And you see there's a groove in the rubber seal. And that groove will be replacing. This is the original piece that the factory seal originally sealed on. Is just kind of pushed up against this, and this piece pops out of the separator. That piece comes out of the separator simply by looking at these tabs here on top, these 3 tabs. Just get a large screwdriver and just pop it out, and the piece comes out. Their replacement face cover goes on, and you see this one has a lip on it, and then this lip, this new lip that's on here, seals into this groove. Much better design than the previous one. The previous one was just very hard to actually get a good seal on it, and that's where I believe a lot of the dust was actually coming in from. So this was the obviously everyone knows this one. This is the original seal, so the smooth mating surface here would have to seal up next to this. Just was very not that good of a secure seal, in my opinion. Left a lot of room for air there. Went ahead and mounted the new box that they sent us. Put on the new seal, the new rubber gasket, and we're going to go ahead and simply just make sure that the new lip on the new faceplate is securely in this groove. And then we'll go ahead and secure the new airbox down again. All right, we went ahead and got the airbox in place, and as you can see, the seal very tight all the way down and around. Very nice on the new seal. They did a good job with it. I'm not going to have any worries that air or dust is leaking in through the seal with the new faceplate and gasket they gave. And just kind of a hint for those that haven't done this before is when you do put this airbox on, just make sure that all your screws are loose. That's the easiest way to get everything lined up. And then just go ahead and even the one up here in the back for this bracket. And then go ahead and just start tightening everything up. That way it's not so hard to get all your screw holes lined up once you start tightening on one end. Just make sure everything's on kind of loose and then work your way around and tighten everything. All right, guys, we actually got it on. I found it easiest, like I said, to remove the bracket up here. I took this hose off. And easiest to plant the front of the box first into the gasket seal and then work it in, pop in this clip on the bottom, and then it's easier to get to the back end to work the seal around the gasket. It is a nice tight fit. We went ahead and used a little plastic pry tool such as this just to pop the edge of the gasket up to make sure that it's riding in the channel, the box riding in the channel on the gasket. But it's in, it looks good, it's seated nice and tight. Here's where the problem was before, was down on the bottom here, and you can see it's a tight seal all the way around. So even in the front here, I don't know if you can see it, but tight seal back in there. Yes, now I'll go ahead and throw the body panels back on, give it a test. Some of the items that they wanted us to test were the following, because excessive dust is not a common issue with the particle separators. You'll see from previously in the video, we did have quite a bit of dust, but we were riding in very sooty, I mean, it was almost like flour type of dust where we were riding. And there was dust on the air filter, but not as much as the rest of the party had, but a lot of dust was getting through. So they want to make sure you check the scavenge fan operation by, placing the vehicle in park, depressing the brake pedal firmly with 1 foot. Basically, you can hear and feel the scavenge fan running, revving up out of the outflow tube behind the air tube here. Essentially feeling the fluctuation in the scavenge fan, that it's not just running at one speed. They want you to, one of the things they wanted me to check, I guess in some of the instances, some of the scavenge fans were mounted backwards on the air intake. Wasn't the case with mine. Another thing that they wanted to check was the side scoop and scoop seal, which was the piece that they replaced for us because it had shrunk during mold process. So we got a new one of those, and still was having a gap in the box here. And then they were S&B, hands down to them. They did everything for me. They gave me one of their brand new prototypes that just left the factory with the new intake faceplate and new gasket seal. And I got to say that fits really good. So if you're needing those pieces, just contact S&B. I'm not sure what the price is on those yet. They haven't posted that, but just reach out to them and they'll get you hooked up. The airbox, and we're going to go ahead and take some grease. They did give us the new seal with the kit, but we're going to go ahead and take some grease and put some grease around the edge of the seal on that and make sure that the box is sealing up pretty good. I guess some of those could get warped, so we're going to go ahead and check that out here shortly, but that should be an easy fix. Not sure why that gasket around there originally from the manufacturer was just so small, and dust and everything was getting in through the side of it. So another reason we were able to determine that there was a leak around this box was we got a feeler gauge, and they recommended using the 0.010 gauge and slide it between the gasket and the box, and right in this area it was sliding through smooth. After I replaced the box, the bottom was okay, it was on the top, and that's one of the reasons they worked with me and gave me the new pieces that they just made for this. So again, hands down to S&B for taking care of me on that. All right, we're going to go ahead and throw this back together. And we're hoping to get it out riding here soon. A lot of places to ride are currently closed down where we go to ride due to fires. The forests are basically just burning up out there. So we're going to hopefully get out here pretty soon and get this machine back out, get some trail miles on it. We do have a sand dune trip coming up, Coos Bay, shortly. So we're going to throw on some new tires for that as well. I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe.